Welcome to Action Coaching. We're certainly blessed that you've joined us on today because we believe that God has given us a special action coaching message for you. I want to encourage you that those that you enjoy action coaching to make sure you hit subscribe and like and be a part of all of the coaching sessions that we have produced. And that way you can be informed all the time when Action Coaching is doing something new, something that will greatly empower you so that you can experience great things in your life. Everyone needs a coach, a mentor, leader, whatever you want to call it. And it's just simply someone that have went a certain path and are able to give you advice on how to travel that same path. They're not trying to make you into them because you got your own unique gifts and talent. Let me put it this way. If I want to go from Atlanta to Detroit, there is a highway that will take me from Atlanta to Detroit, or a series of highways, whichever way you want to look at it. Now, we all may go in different cars, but the highway is still the same. Obvious unless we flew, but if we were driving, then the highway is still the same. And so whatever car you got to point it down the same highway in order to go to Detroit. And that's what Action Coaching is all about. To just give you some tips as to how you can reach that goal, that dream, that desire you have in your life, because I believe that it's there for you. And you just got to take the necessary steps and watch what you can accomplish in life. Now, on today, I want to talk about taking action. Isn't it amazing? A lot of us have said we're going to take action, but we never take action. They use the word procrastination, that we say it, but we just keep putting it off. We use that I'm going to, I will get to that. This is a bad day for me to get started. My friends came over, so we decided we're gonna start next week or next month or whatever, and we start making all of these excuses as to when we're gonna get started. But the bottom line is we never get started. We just simply talk about getting started because it's much easier to talk about getting started than it is to start. Or in other words, than it is to take action. And I know a lot of you, every year, for as long as I've been living, and I'm quite sure they were doing it before I got here, people will quote unquote the New Year's resolution. And it sounds good to say. But that's all it is. It was something that was good to say. Not much change for the upcoming year. It just sounds good to say I'm gonna have a New Year's resolution. And it never exists. Because the first place is when you're taking action, there's less talking and more productivity. And so let's understand about taking action on today. Now, number one, nothing is going to happen until you take action. I'm not talking about somebody take action for you. I'm talking about you take action. Isn't it amazing in life? People want you to do everything else, and then they just walk in and enjoy it. I've been through those things. People want you to get this done, get that done, make this comfortable, make this enjoyable for me. And when you go through all the struggling, taking all the action, then I'm just gonna walk in and I'm just gonna sit down and enjoy it. And the only complaint I have is that if you don't keep me enjoying it, then I'm gonna eventually turn on you and find the next person that do the same thing. They do not want to take action for themselves. They do not want to be held accountable for anything. They would rather you be held accountable. If anything go wrong, you take the blame, or they can blame you. They just don't want nothing to come nigh them. Those are usually the people that do not take any action. But the amazing thing about it is nothing changes unless you take action. Nothing is going to be solved unless you take action. You can do all of the talking about it you want, but until you take action, nothing is going to change. How many years I've seen people talk 4 or 5 years about eventually they're gonna go to school and get a degree or something, but they've been talking longer than it took for them to actually go and get the degree. They just been talking about it. I'm gonna eventually go. You've seen people talk about I'm gonna get better physically fit. And they talk about it the whole year. And probably in the whole year they could have really got physically fit, but that's the only thing they did. They talked about it. They did not take the action. The action is the strongest force. Things happen when you take action. Even in the seasons of life, you don't have, say, rain, just say, eventually I'm gonna rain. Y'all just keep waiting on it, eventually I'm gonna rain. No, rain takes action. And rain is gonna do what it do. When it's time for rain to come, it's gonna rain. Or when it's time for it to be extremely hot, it's gonna be extremely hot. The sun is bright in the day, but the sun don't shine at night, although it's shining, but it's shining in another place. You know, it's darkness. There are things that you have to do in different situations. But most of the time, people are uncomfortable with the different situation because they don't want to take action. It is the action they are afraid of. Millions of people don't take action because they're afraid of what others gonna say. Well, have you ever thought that you taking action? Others might say they're amazed at the action you took. Now, everybody gonna talk negative. You could probably get more positive than you do getting negative. It's kind of like I had an incident when if you weigh so much, then everybody tell you you're too fat. You know, you need not be that big. Then isn't it amazing? The same people that when you turn around and say, okay, I'm gonna do something about that, and you get down, now they tell you you're too small. You don't need to be that little. Now what you want me to be? Too fat or too little? Which one would you want me to take? In essence, they were saying, you know, one action produces another result, but they don't like that result and then resort to another action, and it's all about what they want. But here's the principles of taking action. Here's the important things I want to talk to you about today in my limited time. Number one, taking action is an individual decision. If you are waiting for somebody to encourage you to take action, you're never going to take action. It is an individual choice. You've got to decide that you don't like the path you're going in your own life. And you are going to take action. Now, this ain't no magic formula, no special potion, or there ain't no pills you can take, or nothing you can drink. This is just simply old-fashioned. You got to decide to take action. None of that other stuff will work if you don't decide to take action. So the first step is you got to take action. People say, well, how did you do it? Yeah, I've been in a situation where things happened to me and I was blaming everybody else. It was their fault. How many of you done used it was their fault? Whether it's an ex-husband, somebody done hurt you, or whatever particular man we use it, it was their fault. And see, that's not true, because the fault is of the person that's actually looking at you in the mirror. They look a lot like you, don't they? Because it's your fault that you would not take action. That's something you have to decide. Now, I don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you. I left off talking about people blame others for their inability to take action. But it's really the person you see in the mirror that just have not decided to take action. I've been in that predicament, but you know, I finally decided that nobody was gonna come to help me get out of it. Nobody was gonna be, quote unquote, my savior to this incident. It wasn't no store I could go to and buy a magic potion of changing, or nothing I can do. But I did decide that if it's going to be changed, it's going to have to be up to me first. I am the one that's going to take action. I couldn't depend on nobody making me successful. I can't depend on nobody changing my body. Now, what I'm saying is, there are people that can help you change your body, but you can't change it unless you first want to do it. And so I decided that I had to take action. See, there are people in this world who left the starting line, and there are people still at the starting line waiting to get started. Which one are you? All great and successful and prosperous people took action. They were taking action all the single time. And understand me, that all actions work. And I know somebody saying, well, what about the action I took and it didn't work out so well? It worked too, because it helped you to know what you need to do better, or don't do that anymore. It was a defined action. And that's what's necessary in your life. I like to tell people that I'm the action man. Action is what I do. Yes, I made up in my mind in life that no matter how big the mountain, how horrible the adversity is, I'm not going to take it standing still. I'm going to take action. Because I believe if I take action, I put things in motion. See, one action can lead you to another action, and another action can lead you to another action. And before you know it, those actions come together and you taking the right action. And that's what you have to do. I learned in life that whatever is waiting on you, now the only reason it's waiting on you, it's already done what it's going to do, but the reason it have to wait on you, because you not taking action. Did you not know how many things in your life are waiting on you, and you'll never experience them because you're too afraid to take action? I done heard people say, well, I want to get it just right, so I ain't going to start there until I get it just right. Well, I got news for you. You ain't going to never get it just right. Because the only way you're going to get it just right is you got to get started. Did you not know how excellence is evolved? By making so many mistakes, then you become good at it. Because you will never learn unless you try. You will never achieve unless you take the action. You will never be successful if you don't start. Then you can make all these fancy speeches and you can delay for the next day, but if you don't take action, it'll never happen. So just like I talked about my first point, taking action is an individual decision. My second point is, in taking action is, you gotta have a dream for yourself. You personally got to want something better for yourself. And this ain't got nothing to do with somebody giving it to you to make it better. You personally gotta want to make it better for yourself. Everybody should have a desire of self-improvement, but you got to want to make it better for yourself. I decided in life I didn't like the situation that was handed to me, but rather than sit there and argue about the situation, I took action and decided to change it. I decided to do things different. All the people that told me not to reach for the stars, I decided I'd go out there and reach for the stars. All of the people that told me I never achieved certain things, well, I decided to take the action and try it anyway. And guess what I found out? They weren't exactly telling me the truth. They weren't telling me the right thing. Because I found out in taking action, so many wonderful things began to happen in my life in which I still rejoice to today. Even life itself is enjoyed by taking action. I've talked to many people. They say, well, I'm just sitting home all day because I don't have nothing to do. I don't like to go nowhere by myself. And then I don't know what's going on in other places. Well, my solution is, how about going and see? What about taking an action? You don't know what's waiting on you in another place. You don't know what's already been set up for you by you taking actions. All the people that are enjoying life are people that are enjoying life. Life is not given to sit still. Life is given to take action, to explore, to see things, to achieve things, to find out your own gifts and talents and the ability that you have, to meet new friends, go new places that can turn your entire life around, all because you are taking action. And that's what I'm encouraging you today in action coaching. Take action because you want something better from you. First of all, I talked about how nothing happens unless you take action. Second thing I talked about, you ought to take action for yourself because you want something better for you. And the third thing I want to say is if you take action and try it for yourself, nobody will be able to enjoy like you. One thing I'm so appreciative of in life, that everybody else may not appreciate me taking action and where I made it to in life, but I'm so happy about it. Because I've seen things they never would have given me. Things that I never would have had in life. But I decided to take action. I decided to keep it moving. I decided that life is too short and too precious not to be taking action and exploring and endeavoring in things that God has designed for us to do. Now, those of you that are listening to Action Coaching on this week, you need to start writing down things. Now, don't write it down this way. Don't just write down and say, I'm going to take action. Just write it down and put a check mark by it every time you took action on it. Say, I'm going to take action on this. Then to take the action, then come back home and say, check, I did that. I'm going to take action on this. Take the action, then come back home and say, check, I'm going to do this. And see how much enjoyment you'll have. See how many things you'll experience. All because you decided to take action. That's what I'm all about. That's what I believe that people can do. You don't have to get a college degree to take action, although your actions can allow you to get a college degree. You don't have to be rich to take action, although actions can allow you to be rich. You don't have to be particularly a great speaker to take action, but however, taking action will make great things take place in your life because other people are going to want to hear your story. How many times do we talk to successful people, ask them how did they become successful, and they just simply say, well, I took action. I just decided to get out there and do something. Because I found out this, life is full of different actions connecting to each other. Taking one action will lead you into another action. And that action will lead you into another action. And before you know it, you have found out so many things that are waiting to happen in your life, all because you took action. Now I'm excited about what I shared with you on today, and I want you to reach out to me and let me know those things you've taken action on. I don't need to know all the details, but you can just say, I took action. I took action that I was going to do better here. I took action on this. I just want you to know, continue praying with me, standing with me, because I'm taking these actions, and I'm going to explore great and wonderful things in my life. I'm excited about your future, and I'm excited about you taking action. And I certainly want to encourage you. Let's take action. Let's get it done and watch what God will do for us. Now, I don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you. Welcome back. I certainly know that you were blessed today by this message on action. And I want to encourage you to take action right now. Don't wait, do it now. There's something you can start on right now while I'm talking to you. Take action on it. I want to encourage those of you that enjoy action coaching to sit down and sow a generous seed faith offering for the support of action coaching. I believe that God wants to expand and allow us to do bigger and better things here on Action Coaching. but I need your financial support. So I certainly want you to sit down and sow a generous seed faith offering for the support of Action Coaching on today. There's a link in my bio that will give you a host of ways to give unto Action Coaching. And you know, I believe that we're in a time when we help support things that are ministering to so many people. God is going to help support things in our life too. So I certainly want you to sit down and sow a generous seed faith offering on today. Once again, there's a link in my bio that'll give you a host of ways to sow unto Action Coaching, and I want you to do it now. I want you to trust God now and watch what God will do in your life. Thank you for being a part of Action Coaching on today, and I know that God has richly inspired you to take action. As I do each and every week, I want to encourage you. Share the word with a friend and keep the word in action.